And so begins the closing act of the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series Season number 8. We're here on race 8 out of 10. 2 more regular season races to go here in Atlanta, and then we venture all the way out west to the LA Coliseum, getting ready to find out who the final 4 is going to be to go for this, the 8th championship of the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series. Today we begin the venture to the final track, over half a mile in length for the season here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, newly reconfigured to a brand new super speedway style of racing. And coming into this race, here are the point standings. After Indianapolis, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin are currently into the final 4 spots right now. And there's a few other drivers back behind them. A lot of champions trying to go for their second title, and we'll see how that all plays out here today. Let's go and take a look at some of the drivers to watch out for here today. Austin Dillon, he'll be starting on pole in the Bass Pro Shops number 3 machine here today. He's been solid on other new super speedways, especially in the Daytona 500 earlier this season. And same for Alex Bowman, who starts 18th here today. Winner last time out in Indianapolis. He's only 9 points out from points leader Ryan Blaney, so comfortably looking comfortable trying to get himself into the final 4 here in Atlanta and into LA Coliseum next race. Now let's go take a look at the starting lineup here today. It's Austin Dillon and Chase Briscoe on the front row, then Christopher Bell and William Byron. And you have best buddies Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney, that is. Then you have Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Running on the top 10 will be Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. They have Austin Cindric and Martin Truex Jr. Behind them is Harrison Burton and Sticky Stenhouse. And then you're going to have the 22 of Joey Logano and Eric Jones. Behind them is Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman. Rounding out the top 20 here today is Tyler Reddick and Kevin Harvick. They have Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson. Behind them will be Chris Buescher and Eric Almirola, a pair of Fords. And they're going to have Daniel Suarez, your Daytona 500 winner, and Kurt Busch. Then you have Cole Custer and Corey LaJoie. And rounding out your 30-car field here today with Josh Bilicki and Kaz Gralla. As we get ready to go into this race here today, it'll be a 10-lap event here at night in Hampton, Georgia. On the final race over a half mile in length here today, like I mentioned before, on the 1.5 mile, 28-degree banked Atlanta Motor Speedway, newly reconfigured to a super speedway style of racing. So we're going to see a lot of guys that we see at Daytona and Talladega in the front here in Atlanta. So expect them to be good here today as the cars fire up and roll off at pit lane. Austin Dillon will be soon getting on the loud pedal and bringing these guys to the green flag. Like I said, 10 laps is the distance. We got 2 races left in regulation, and points are of utmost concern for these drivers here today. Can they make it to the finish, and how high in the running order can they be? Off turn number 4, they come to the green flag. Austin Dillon brings them up through the gears for the first time today. Down at turn number 1, a good push from Christopher Bell will get the 3 out to a solid lead. Top 2 single file, onto the back straight in now. Top 3 looking single file with Bubba Wallace and company pulling up to the top side in front of Chase Briscoe. Off of turn number 4, here comes Christopher Bell looking for the lead already. A little bit of contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon to try to lead the first lap of the race with help from Denny Hamlin. He'll do that back to turn number 1. Here comes the 9 of Chase Elliott to the inside of Austin Dillon looking for second. And they are side by side. That's for third off of turn number 2. Heading down to turn number 3, here comes the 2 of Cindric to the inside. He'll dive bomb to the inside of the 9 of Chase Elliott, put him through the sucker hole there. And Elliott deploys the anchor in the middle of the pack here as Christopher Bell continues to lead with help from Denny Hamlin, his teammate. Down to turn 1, here comes Austin Dillon to the inside with a huge push from the 23 of Bubba Wallace. And Wallace looks to the outside, so does Austin Dillon back for the point down the back straightaway. Christopher Bell begins to fall back on the inside lane, but there goes Denny Hamlin sliding up. They're 3 wide again with a little bit of contact from Chase Briscoe to put the 11-3 wide. Across the line right there is Dillon leading now, with the 23 now getting pushed out. Here comes the 14 again to the outside, making moves on these Toyotas. Everyone was trying to get that Toyota brigade out, and Chase Briscoe was the guy to do it. And off of turn number 4, he's trying to take the lead. Oh, he's going to get turned off the front bumper of William Byron, slamming hard on the outside wall. A single car spin off turn 4. Looks like nobody else was involved miraculously off the corner, and the first caution is out here in Hampton. Chase Briscoe went for a wild ride off the banking of turn number 4. Let's see what happened here. Going for the lead on Austin Dillon. It looks like William Byron gave him a little bit too much of a shove. Got that car out of shape coming off the corner and just sent that to number 14 of a Hendrick Tractors machine around off the front bumper of the 24. Looks like there might just be a little bit of nose damage to the 14 car, but he should be able to continue today. Did a very good job not coming back into traffic right there off the corner, and as that car fishtailed off the front bumper of that Camaro. So we're restarting here on lap number 6. 5 laps to go here in Atlanta. Byron also got some repairs too to the front of that race car. But once again, Austin Dillon will be leading us back to the green flag. He'll be on the inside with Christopher Bell shotgun to the field, and he gets a little bit squirrely at the front bumper of Joey Logano, 3 wide for second. Here comes Cindric now to the back bumper, now to the outside of Austin Dillon with help from Joey Logano and his other teammate Ryan Blaney up from the top side of the racetrack. Man, Penske has rallied up the troops on the top side with the help from the 21 machine, the Wood Brothers machine. Oh, Denny Hamlin shoves the 3-3 wide. He'll deploy that anchor as they come onto the front straightaway and complete lap number 6. Denny Hamlin now looking for the point on the inside of the Penske guys on the outside lane, with Cindric, the rookie, continuing to lead onto the back straightaway. Joey Logano with a good run, going to try to ease that number 2 car further out front. Here comes another huge run from the outside lane. Look at Kyle Busch storming up the outside. He'll crossways to the inside. Oh, there's contact, and Cindric turning the wall. A big crash on the front straightaway, and there goes the 6 of Keselowski, tumbling across the start-finish line, and we're back under the yellow flag on lap number 7. There was Denny Hamlin. Harrison Burton was also involved with Kevin Harvick stuck on the infield grass. Chase Elliott again involved in another crash. 3 in a row for Kyle Larson as well. And we're back under the yellow flag just past halfway in Atlanta. Let's see what happened. You can see just out of frame there, the 18 pulled up to the outside with help from the 4 of Harvick and dove to the inside of the Penske guys as they tried to cover. And Cindric got sent hard on the outside retaining wall. That car was sent pirouetting across the line and clipped the right front, it looked like, of Brad Keselowski. And that car catapulted over the right front right there. It did a single tumble, and it came back to rest on all fours. You see Stenhouse and Chastain and Christopher Bell, a lot of strong race cars up against the outside wall after this melee on the front straight. Oh man, you can see the 5 of Larson get picked up off the front end of the 1 of Chastain. Let's see it one more time here. Busch to the inside, try to make the move on Cindric again. And remember, you cannot pass below that double white line on the inside. And so Busch went as far down as he could, and contact with the 2 cars sent them all spinning into the big one. Well, with this caution, we will be restarting on lap number 9 out of 10. That means 2 laps to go here in Atlanta to find out who's going to win this race. Green flag is back in the air for Kyle Busch. Side by side for second with the Penske guys back to turn 1. Busch tries to cover Blaney, but they're on the outside wall, and Logano comes through to the lead. Alex Bowman now going to try to get up in there and try to get him 2 race wins in a row. Back to turn 3, coming to the white flag, this time by Blaney, pulls up top in front of Martin Truex Jr. Logano pulls up to cover. 1 lap to go, a mile and a half remains. They're switching back and forth. Here comes Peck to the outside. Truex dives low to 3 wide for the lead, but Logano against the outside wall against the back bumper of Blaney. He tries to block low. Here comes Kurt Busch out of nowhere, 3 wide through the middle, with help from Noah Gragson off turn number 4. Kurt Busch with the lead, 3 wide for second off turn 4 for the final time. Gragson throws a block and he spins. Kurt Busch wins, and another huge crash across the line. Sends the 62 this time tumbling, and a caution's back out across the line, but Kurt Busch is the victor here in Atlanta. Oh man, another huge incident coming to the checkered flag. You see here off turn number 2, the 12 blocked low on the inside of the 22. Kurt Busch went down there as well and somehow made that car stick 3 wide through the middle with help from the 62 of Gragson. And across the line, Gragson tried to pull to the inside of the 45 to get the win, but he didn't have enough room to get down there and wrecked himself across the nose of the 22. And let's see what happened here off turn number 4 again. See the 45 pulled through the middle lane, went up high, and the 62 tried to dive low, looking for that first Miscraft Cup Series win in his first few starts. But the Wendy's Biggie Bag machine ends up turtled and crumbled out of this race here. But he still finished second though, which is miraculous enough. And look at the 45 coming across the line with just melee in the rearview mirrors. And what a performance for the 45 to come from the back of the field to win here in Atlanta. Kurt Busch gets it done and finally gets another win here in the Miscraft Cup Series. It's been a little while, but he's definitely done it. And here's the race results here from today's race. Kurt Busch, Noah Gragson, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Alex Bowman. A few of those guys are drivers that were up in the top 4 in points, at least running for it. And so they're going to extend and help their healthy points position here today. Take a look at the race results later down the line. A lot of these cars are involved in the crashes, from Reddick all the way down to Ross Chastain, excuse me. Yeah, tough luck for a lot of these guys here in Atlanta. A lot of melee here in Atlanta. We were expecting this from the Super Speedway. The next race will be coming up from the LA Coliseum. The reason we're telling you this right now before we show you the point standings is because the regular season finale will only have the top 20 in points competing, and there may or may not be a little bit of a kink here or there that could get a few more cars in, but we'll have to see how that goes on down the line. Here are the standings after today's race. Joey Logano is the points leader, tied with Alex Bowman, both of them going for their first Miscraft Cup Series championships, but Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin are also in, and they're going for their championships, and Truex is currently in 5th, and he's looking to try to defend his Season 7 title from just a year ago. And you see the cutoff at the number 20 position. Chris Buescher will be the first guy out, not guaranteed to race in the LA Coliseum. Same for Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, and others. But we'll have to see how that goes on down the line. Thank you all for watching here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll see you next time out in the West and in the LA Coliseum for the season finale of the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series. It should be a good one. And well, other than that, we're going to have to see how this end of the season goes. It's definitely going to be fun one to watch. So thank you all for watching once again, and we'll see you in LA.
Ba-da-ba-ba-bum.
We're loving it.